Good morning, my friends. DRBMiller here, and welcome to our Destiny World, Destiny 1 World. This is today. How's everybody? We are enjoying some very sunny and hot weather over here in London suburbs. I talked yesterday about my wonderful, truly astonishing day in London on Monday. I spent the whole day at the Microsoft store, the flagship European store of this magnificent high-tech company. And I told you about the weather conditions. It was very humid, and to tell you the truth, the temperature wasn't that high. It was about 26, and today we're expecting, I think, 32, 33. 36 is expected, even 38 tomorrow on Thursday. So we really are enjoying the hottest possible summer weather here in Britain. Jerry, our friend from Dallas, Texas, certainly would be very interested to hear that we had about 50,000 thunders last night. Have to admit, none of those were in my local area. They were all happening up north of England, but some of the pictures I received and have seen earlier today were absolutely incredible. These are kinds of thunderstorms you expect to be in Southeast Asia and not over here in Britain. And lots of people from Manchester were taking photographs in the middle of the night because they were astonished, first of all, by the scenery, the sights, the colours, and then in addition to that, they were terrified of the noise, because try to think, thousands of different thunders cracking above you and producing all that noise. Some people might have thought that a major war broke out, and a lot of rain as well, which in fact didn't just refresh the atmosphere, but actually brought a lot of this hot weather. And we are expecting the hottest day ever in British history to be tomorrow. So I'm hoping that this is not going to come true, this is not going to materialize, and I'm hoping that this is just a false predicament. Perhaps we'll have some thunderstorms and the temperatures will dive, because guess what, I don't like it when it's so hot, and particularly if you're in a very kind of urbanized area where you get this humidity with absence of oxygen, and even on temperatures as low as 25, 26 the other day in London. I actually walked through the very heart of the city, and it was okay early in the day, but late in the evening, particularly after 8 o'clock, it was absolutely breathless. And as I walked, I felt like I literally just departed from a shower cabin. I was just completely wet because there was no air. It was just pollution and humidity, meaning damp. So really not a very pleasant experience, and particularly if you were to walk for a little while, and I walk quite a lot generally, and you really can tell the difference. And I have to tell you also, because I departed from the very central area on a train which had air conditioning, and it wasn't really that pleasant, I have to admit. Inside of the train was also quite hot, but by the time I got off in my local area at the final destination, the air was much superior, because we have our nature reserve nearby. There are lots of forests and trees, and it was humid, but much cooler and a lot more bearable. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have a bit of that as well, but really not looking forward to that. 38 degrees in London, just try to think, roasting on buses and tube trains, unbelievable. I've been several times stuck on the tube when the temperature outside was like 33, 34, and believe you me, it is an experience you do not want to go through. So what I can say to all our friends and people who are based in London or in our bigger cities is make sure you have a lot of water with you. I'd suggest anything between 1 and 2 liters, and drink that water at all times. If you're using public transport, you must have it on you. Try to walk instead of using buses on the ground if at all possible, or indeed, if you don't have to go anywhere, just stay indoors until everything clears up. But because the hottest part of the day will be from about 10 o'clock to about 5 o'clock, and for some people, if they have some health conditions or disabilities, or particularly people who are of an advanced age, that kind of weather in a city is life-threatening, and it's just simply best avoided. You need to take a day off and then enjoy your cold water and just relax, watch TV, or do anything which is pleasant. You can go to a local park, but not during the midday, because you are going to be suffering from that heat and humidity. So as you could hear, another hot summer day here on what it is now. Let me see, 24th of July, so it means we've gone already through half of our summer, but the hot weather had caught up with us, and as you can see, they did have the hottest day ever recorded in Bordeaux, France yesterday. I think it was 42 degrees, so it was similar to what I had in Paris a couple of weeks ago. And this sort of hot weather is unmanageable in some European cities. I was both in Paris and France a couple of years ago, where the temperature was exceeding 33, and those cities are so badly polluted, and their traffic congestion is much greater than in central London, because we have congestion charge and traffic restrictions and all that. So it's not as bad. I guess, well, Paris and Brussels, I could say, were the worst experiences of mine. When obviously the weather was as hot. But I've heard that Rome is particularly bad, but I've not been. Once again, if you live in one of those big cities, make sure you're taking a day off or staying away from everything, and therefore you will be fully protected. So, we have Elliot here. Hello Elliot, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching our broadcast. Is it as hot in your area as it is in mine? It is absolutely scorching hot in here. Bright sunshine, and you know what? It was the hottest night on the record. It was 25, I think, in my area. I looked it up before I went to bed around midnight. It was, I think, 25 and 26. So really unbelievably hot. And I've heard from some friends in Europe it was somewhat similar. The temperature at night was like 29. Similar to what you get in the tropical areas of the globe. And to tell the truth, although we had no rain in my local area, I slept very well, and it was a bit cooler half of the night, so I can't really complain. But the very hot weather also causes a lot of kind of sleep disruptions. You can't sleep steadily for 6 or 7 hours. You keep waking up, you need to go to the toilet and that sort of thing because of the heat. You need to go, and your sleep cycle gets affected. But I was alright, I can't complain. I slept very well rested. We are back here for Destiny 1 broadcast, and we'll carry on. Anyway, what I want to say to everyone is just a recap on my introduction from yesterday. I spent Monday at the Microsoft flagship store. It's the first big store they open in Europe, and it is absolutely tremendous with everything on offer. I spent all of my day, actually all my activities, on the top floor, where you have the gaming hub, and I've spent several hours with the managers, talked to them about all sorts of ins and outs of the gaming world. Very curious and very interested to hear what they have to say about what Microsoft is to introduce. They couldn't tell me everything because, as you know, they have their own confidentiality clauses and rules, but obviously the talk of the town was Xbox One Scarlet, Project Scarlet, and xCloud as well. And I missed the presentation they had during the first weekend, and they said it actually exceeded the quality that was present during the E3 week, and it was very, very extensive, and they were doing it back to back on both days. So hopefully that presentation is going to come back, and they also have a special floor, which is the top floor, that has been indeed converted for business usage, so for conferences and major presentations. Also for anything that is going to be provided through live streams. All of that will be done on the top floor, and definitely very, very curious to hear all that is xCloud related, particularly in view of the fact that Sony are having a proposed partnership with Microsoft in order to use that service for all that is Sony PlayStation related. So lots of interesting news coming out of Microsoft, and for anyone who is going to be going to the store, paying a visit, you will experience basically state-of-the-art gaming, the best possible gaming facilities on the planet. They have the best setup in Europe. Their connection speeds and their quality of video and 4K resolution is second to none. Many very large TV displays for people to try. They are connected to Xbox and to PCs. They have a gravity-free tower for people to play Forza on, and you literally feel like you enter the spaceship when you come in, because you're gravity free, you're elevated, you don't feel anything but just like floating in space, and you're in game, and you put your the cabin kind of closes in, and then you have your 3 monitors. You can see panoramic views of your game, and it's POV, so you literally feel as if you were your Lewis Hamilton out there on the track doing the race. And also they have another one based on racing, and that is when you enter a car. I'm not sure whether it's Porsche or Lamborghini, one of the two-seaters, on the ground floor. It's actually prominently showcasing for, you know, passing traffic on Oxford Street. And then you're sitting there, obviously you've got to book your participation, and you will have this massive big screen ahead of you where you are doing exactly the same. So you got the opportunity to try it either in the car, where you are experiencing state-of-the-art gaming, or in that sci-fi gravity-free tower. So the choice is yours. You can try them both and enjoy it. It's quite an experience. I went there. I'm not really personally that keen on driving and footy games, but the way they've done them, they're very, very immersive. And I did say to the manager there that the presentation of FIFA on the opening day was the best I ever seen for any game, because I really do not like football in video gaming, and I never played literally 1 second of it. But after watching that presentation of Peter Crouch, I really wanted to buy the game straight away and dive in. The presentation was so good. It was so funny, so immersive, so interactive. It was roping in everyone who is, a member of the Xbox community, anyone who loves video gaming, anybody who's into the sports. Everybody was just loving it and jaw-dropping and was wanting to join in. So it was literally top notch. And those two games, together with Fortnite, are very prominently featuring on all setups. When you come to the gaming hub, you can try any of them. What is exciting is that you have several facilities for geos, basically co-op gaming, and they are delivered on very, very large screens. And also you have a specific area which is for co-op driving. So you have a massive big screen of 85 inches, and then it's split in half, and you can do your own driving there accordingly. And then you have also a family hub. So there are sofas in there and an extra large screen where the entire family can be doing a family-based game. They were doing Overcooked, and they were having a lot of fun. So it was hilarious. And then you have loads of desks with smaller screens, and I guess they are set up there for competitive gaming, because if I'm not mistaken, there are either 12 or 18 of those desks, and they all kind of face each other, and then there's a major panel right behind them. So if you're doing a small competition, and they were doing Apex on that particular day, on Monday, you get the scoreboard coming up. You can watch everything on the display, which is actually outside of the cabin. So anyone who wants to find out what the guys are doing can be watching it either through the monitor or through the display, which is at the front. And it's just state-of-the-art gaming. Everything works perfectly, and you can try any of the games which are on Xbox Game Pass. Some can be downloaded, the other ones are instantly accessible, and because you'd appreciate lots of people will be trying out various games there, and not all of them are on the Xbox hard drive. If you want to play them, obviously off the hard drive. And I wanted to try Destiny on one of the largest displays there, which is on 65 inches, but unfortunately because there's a lot of activity, the download was, well, as always, not incredibly fast. So by the time I left, it was still downloading. But next time I'll go there, and hopefully the game is going to be there. In fact, I discussed with Scott, one of the managers, a possibility for me to do some broadcasts from there, because in addition to all I described, they also have a VIP streaming cabin. So that streaming cabin is basically geared for 2 streamers, and it's state-of-the-art, it's soundproof, it's a cabin that can be used just after you booked your participation, and then you will have a team facilitating your stream. And I said, well, it would be wonderful if I could do a few of those streams of mine out there in the cabin, and we can have a regular stream, maybe from 11 to 3 or 11 to 4 from that cabin, and do it from there, so all of our viewers could actually experience what the quality is like whilst the Microsoft equipment is being used. And they have the best setup in Europe, so the quality of speed is going to be second to none. The quality of picture and sound is going to be superior to anything else I've ever done, and this would be of tremendous benefit to all of my community members, because they would see how good the broadcast is going to be once delivered on the top-notch rig. And that's the idea. So watch this space. I'll talk to Scott. We'll book a space and we'll do some streams from there. I want to do that as early as possible, because I think it will get very, very busy once people get to know about it. It wasn't busy on the day, and I think lots of people are still not fully aware of the facility. But you know, the streamers will cotton on, and they'll obviously do. I think particularly the streamers of Forza and Fortnite and Apex, because obviously those games are currently really pushed hard by Microsoft, and they're definitely attracting a lot of viewers and visitors at the store. People want to jump in and participate. Many of those never tried these games before. It's the idea. The idea is to be always bringing in new customers. That facility is there for them to use. We'll jump in, and it'll be very difficult to allocate space and time. So I'll try to get this off the ground as soon as possible, and then we'll do some of our streams from this wonderful Microsoft flagship store on Oxford Circus. And I had a wonderful day. I really tried lots of different games. In fact, I was trying some games I've never seen before, and they looked incredible, honestly. And the setup in there, when you are playing Destiny or Fortnite or Apex, or what was I doing, Sea of Thieves, and a couple of other games, I can't actually remember now what else. It was quite a large selection. When you do them on this setup, you have 65-inch screen at the front of you, and state-of-the-art equipment. It's just so massive. Sea of Thieves looked gobsmacking. Really, really jaw-dropping, very interactive, your proper multiplayer, very funny, and just thoroughly enjoyable, as well as Apex. But I just think that anybody playing FPS, if they are doing it on that large screen, they've got to be seated quite far, because the movement is very severe, and you have 4K resolution, so you can feel a bit twitchy and a bit funny afterwards. But on the other hand, if you want to do a lengthier run, you can just be seated at one of those other desks, and those desks will provide you with the best possible access to the game, same speeds and everything else, and therefore you can crack on indefinitely, well, within their working hours, of course. So a wonderful day out there, and watch this space for some Destiny streams, Destiny 1 streams. This is going to be from that wonderful Microsoft flagship store on Oxford Circus. As soon as I book my space in there, as soon as we know the dates, I'll tell you, and the news are going to be presented here and also on my Instagram and Twitter. So definitely watch this space, because I want everybody to be having a look and indeed enjoying some of it. Evidently, if you're not to be there on time whilst I'm doing the broadcast, you can watch it on my playback. But it will be quite interesting to see how all the interactivity and everything will work there. They did say they prefer Mixer, which is their proprietary streaming engine, but I did say I can't really do anything on Mixer because my community is on Twitch, and they said there will be no problem. So I think I'll actually contact Scott today, and I'll ask him whether this can be arranged for at some point next week, and then we can certainly enjoy our activities. And I'm sure that all of our community members from worldwide, as far as New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Russia, North America, Canada, Slovenia, Hungary, Poland, Spain, Portugal, people from everywhere around the globe, from Panama, will definitely be very interested in watching the broadcast that's been done through Microsoft flagship store in Europe. It's just one store in Europe, just literally one store, and it is the one on Oxford Circus. It's the first one. I'm sure they'll open a few more of those stores in Paris, Brussels and Berlin, and I look forward to those days as well. But obviously we want to use ours first as much as possible, and want to enjoy all that they have to offer. And the number of people participating and coming in and watching games and trying out different things was sizable. I'd say it wasn't really very busy, which was obviously to my advantage, but I can just well imagine on certain days like Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays it must be completely mad, and it's probably likely that they have to restrict access because of the space and the sheer volume of bodies that will gravitate to the store. It's very prominent. It's on Oxford Circus. You can see it from everywhere, and there are some very attractive images and cars to be seen if you're walking on the outside, and particularly the one demonstrating your driving skills with Forza. So watch that space. If you are somewhere in central London, do not miss visit that wonderful Microsoft flagship store, and you will not be disappointed. For many kids in there, it was once in a lifetime experience, particularly those children who were trying that gravity-free tower. They were just so excited, and as I talked to one of the managers who was actually manning the tower, I stood there for quite a while, and I can see all of that excitement and elation and enjoyment, and I could just well imagine if I was a child and I went there, it would have been just out of this world experience. It's a bit like entering Star Wars, you know. You enter Star Wars, you put your helmet on, you know, driving one of those X-Wing ships, and yeah, just really, really absolutely amazing. Right, Elliot says, I'm good, and where I am it is 27 degrees. Let me see what the temperature is in my area. I am in London suburbs. 28, right? The expectation is today the temperatures will be 31, but they did say that yesterday. They said that yesterday the temperatures were to be around 30, but actually they did exceed later in the day that degree, and we had I think it was about 31. I think 31 was the hottest I've seen, and today likely to be exactly the same. And Elliot says, I was that hot last night I was struggling to get to sleep. Well, surprisingly so, in my area it was quite easy to sleep compared to some other breathless, humid nights of the last couple of weeks. And I really feel the difference, because when it's very humid I keep waking up during the night. So my cycle of sleep is, you know, like basically a couple of hours, and then I wake up, go to the toilet, come back, fall asleep again, and it's probably about 3 or 4 times I have to get up, and it's all down to that humidity. But last night wasn't, and maybe it's to do with those thunderstorms. My immediate area was not affected, but it's possible that some of that cooler air gravitated, you know, so maybe less humidity. And it was excuse me, it was quite a good peaceful night in that respect. But I think tonight and tomorrow night is going to be everything but, and I'm not really looking forward to that at all. The trouble we have is that humidity, you know, and if there's no rain overnight, then the humidity will be plaguing our local area, and we are on 4 rivers, and we get quite a bit of that pollution coming from central London, in addition to, you know, what we get from the rivers. Then it gets unbearable. And Joe says it was very hot last night for me too. Joe's also down here southeast, well, not in my immediate area, but southeast of England has been very hot and very affected by that hot wave coming from North Africa. But we are going to be roasting tomorrow. It is going to be 38, so I'm not sure, Joe, whether you are anywhere near the coast, or if you are on the coast, then definitely you'll be able to have a dip and enjoy some of that sunshine, and perhaps you know, you get a bit cooler if you can just jump in for a moment or two. I know my friends in Brighton, they're all going to be enjoying it, and using every opportunity to try the sea. But the sea is not that good, you know. It's not that clean to start with, and then secondly, it's not as warm as you would expect it to be. But you never know, maybe it's warmed up in, you know, during the last few years. And the last time I swam was in Cornwall, and the sea wasn't that warm, you know. But everything changes, so maybe we are going to be enjoying the tropics, and maybe Brighton and our, you know, coastal towns and cities will become a bit like what you have in Mediterranean. Goodness knows, weather's gone absolutely crazy. Honestly, it is going to be life-threatening for the vast majority of the people worldwide, because you know, having the nighttime temperature of 27, 28, I think it was like 24, 25 last night when I looked it up before going to bed. It's just unbelievable. It's so hot. And even the other day when I was coming back to midnight, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, the temperature was like 23. So definitely. Oh, Jerry's here. Hello, Jerry. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you. Jerry's saying good morning to everyone. I was just giving a bit of a rundown on our weather forecast and all that we're experiencing in Britain. And I said that last night we had about 50,000 thunders up north of England. It was north of Manchester. And, you know, that weather was quite something. But unfortunately, instead of bringing us a bit of a breeze, it brought this very, very hot weather that was tailing it. And today we are definitely scorching hot, and tomorrow we are going to be roasting. The expectation is we'll reach 38 degrees, which is going to be the hottest day in Britain ever recorded. How hot is it in Texas? It must be, somewhere within the late 30s. So that would be what, 95, 96 Fahrenheit? Do you know that in Paris they had 115 Fahrenheit? 115. And that was a couple of weeks ago, 46 degrees. It was just absolutely insane. I'm not sure how people survived that heat. Right, we talked a lot about the weather. We talked about Microsoft Store. We didn't talk about Destiny. So what are we going to do today? Well, Hunter, Human Male, it is going to be as usual. And we'll crack on with some warm-ups. Those are to be with our Siva Heroic Strikes, as usual. Last week was PvP back-to-back. We had plenty of fun, enjoyed all of our activities, and PvE it is this week. The first thing I need to do is I need to go back to the tower, double check my admin, collect some of the bounties. Elliot's here asking whether he can join me. Of course, Elliot, you can. Did you participate in online gaming on the channel in the past? Did we complete any of the strikes, any other activities? I'm asking because if you're coming for the first time, then I have to tell you all about the channel rules and all other things that we have here. Joe's asking whether you can join. Absolutely. We'll bring in Elliot and we'll bring Joe. No worries at all. And let me just land and I'll invite you both. Elliot, can you confirm? Oh, it's the first entering the chat because the channel rules are there. And I have to be very, very careful with how the channel is moderated, because anyone who's younger than 13 is not allowed to be present live on air. That's due to the Twitch policy as well as the laws in the US. Anyone aged 13 to 18 will need to have a permission from the parents to be participating in online live online activity. And also, this is a family-friendly channel, which means we don't swear, we don't get excited, there's no judgment on display towards other gamers. We don't talk about politics. We do not have any form of content which is considered defamatory or offensive. We keep it as family friendly as possible at all times. I always need to stress that any swear words which are said live on air may result in an instant ban, and the reason for that is that I have two companies moderating my channel. And how old are you, Elliot? Can you confirm your age? Because if you are, I can't bring in Elliot, I'm afraid. 13 and anyone who's younger than 13, they can't be participating live online. I can obviously have you here for chat, but live online gaming is strictly prohibited, and there's enforcement as well attached to it. So unfortunately, as you are 13, I really apologize. I'd like to have you here, but we did have a child younger than 13 popping in recently, and I was obviously told by the moderators that I can't be allowing people who are younger than 13 to come live online. So I'm very sorry about that. It is not something that I wish to do, but the trouble is that it's the rules, and it's fine for children to be watching certain things or indeed using the chat, but participating live online is prohibited by the terms and conditions as given to any streamer by Twitch. So any streamer who's allowing children to come in live online or to be on webcam, etc., could face prosecution, because in the US it is strictly enforced on the federal level, and in Britain it's very similar. So we can't really, unfortunately, do this. I'm very sorry about this, Elliot, but if you are 13, and indeed if all the other children younger than 13, I can't really bring them in, because this is a channel, well, which is obviously geared for family-friendly crowd, and we all have to be always adhering to the policies as given to us by Twitch, because when you are setting up a channel, you have to subscribe to the rules. It's almost like signing a contract with the broadcaster or the provider, and therefore I have to strictly abide by those rules. If you enter the terms and conditions of Twitch, you'll be able to read what the rules are. And I'm very sorry that children are prohibited from participation, so unfortunately there's nothing I can do. Alright, let me just bring in Joe first of all, and there we are. Oh no, that's wrong actually. I'm just bringing in. I see. There always is a problem here with the selection. You know, I keep leaving it on invitations only, and I keep getting, well, the game keeps sort of bringing it back to free access. Not sure what the reason for that is. It's some sort of glitch. So we'll bring in Joe. There we are. Sending invitation, and also I'll bring in Joe through our party chat. There we are. Chatting party. Not allowing us to create our party chat for some reason. Let's see what the reason for that is. Okay, it works now. Yet again, I want to apologize to Elliot. As you're 13, I'm not able to bring you in here. That is due to the Twitch policy and the rules, the terms and conditions that Twitch has. And that applies to everyone who's 13 and younger. So anyone who wants to pop in will need to keep this in mind. Please do not force some of the broadcasters to bring you in, because they might not be aware of the rules. And as I said, it is against the terms and conditions that the company provides. Also, it is against the laws of certain countries, most notably the United States. There we are. Hello. Elliot says some things in here which I can't pronounce. Well, I'll tell you something, Elliot, as well. I was attending various meetings at the Microsoft flagship store in London. It's the biggest, the most prestigious Microsoft store created in Europe. And you have loads of games available through Xbox Game Pass, right? And I want to try games like Halo and Destiny and PUBG. And as soon as you enter the roster, or the menu, you get a message saying access denied. The certificate, which is basically providing you with everything family friendly. So any games that will have swear words, or any games that have any shooting which results in blood being seen, are not accessible there. And it's automated, it's enforced. And I actually went to one of the managers and I said, I really want to play Destiny right here, and want to see what the display's like on the big screen. And they said, well, at the moment it's the company policy, there's nothing we can do. You can see the screenshots, but you can't actually enter the game. Obviously, I'm an adult, and it wouldn't really apply to me, but just because everybody else who comes in there and participates, they want to prevent children from watching any of that sort of activity, if you see what I mean. So it's very, very strictly enforced, and this is like Microsoft flagship store. It's the best one in Europe. They have everything in there, and the number of games instantly accessible. The choice is just simply, mouth-watering. The choice is incredible, but you can't try everything on those large displays because they have parental lock. And parental lock is preventing you automatically from accessing. And also, when children come in, they will have a staff member accompanying a child from the beginning. So, a child can't be just hovering about and trying out different things. They'll have one staff member per child monitoring basically on whatever is happening out there. So that's just the way it is, I'm afraid. There's nothing I can do. Sorry about that, Elliot. I'd like to help, and I'd like to provide you with our participation and interactivity. But, once you become a bit older, there'll be no problems. Just remember that if you are asking other streamers to let you in, you need to state your age just in case, because if somebody, for instance, was to watch a video which was recorded and then they reported it to Twitch, they would investigate immediately. Elliot's asking, does that mean I can't do Nightfall? You can do every single activity in Destiny, but you can't do it through live online broadcast. You can't do it on any of those Twitch channels because it's just against the rules that Twitch has, you know. What I'm trying to say is you've got to be adhering to the rules, because sometimes I've seen some reports that children would have gone in and then someone else watched the video on playback, you know, with the big streamers, and then they reported the video, and you know, then if the video is reported, that's one of the rules which they immediately investigate and enforce, and that sort of complaint would be investigated by you know, one of their senior staff members. It wouldn't be just done through algorithms, which is what happens sometimes on other complaints, and they'll investigate and then they will take action. So, you know, just a word of advice to prevent any form of upset or difficulty. All right, so I'm sorry about that, but there's nothing I can do. I'd like to help, but you know. So let's see what we have here. But I really I'm very glad to see that Elliot is a dedicated community member, always watches our streams and is participating here through our chat. And I thank Elliot for that, always appreciate it.
Hi, Guardian. Wonderful day, Guardian.
Loads of those Zermask. Wow, I've never had this before. But I honestly don't know what to do with all that stuff, because my yeah, I won't do anything. Restored. I need to clear up some of the stuff here which is on my Warlock. I have lots of Warlock items on the armor front, and they need to be basically cleaned up, and I'll need to do that sometime. Okay, we are not going to be doing any of this right now because we talked a lot, and we basically want activity to take place. We want some serious action. So I'd just like to ask Joe, if you're ready, you can obviously come here, and we can assemble. Yeah, that's right, excellent. If you can come to my left, please, and I'll take a screenshot of 2 of our characters. Yeah, that's right, a screenshot. I'm due to be uploading quite a few of our screenshots that were taken during the last couple of weeks. We had lots of co-op and lots of team play, and we'll have lots of those on Instagram and Twitter. So what we'll do today is we'll start with some wonderful Siva heroic strikes. There was severely glitched yesterday, and I hope that Bungie would have done some work on them overnight, but if not, we'll do our best to finish. Basically, Joe and myself will start with a few Siva heroic strikes, and then we can progress to the weekly Nightfall, and that is the plan for today. So just bear with us. I need to grab a hot drink, and then we'll progress to our Siva heroic strikes, as seen here. Siva Crisis Heroic, there we are. I'll tell you what the modifiers are very shortly. Let me just grab a hot drink, and then we'll carry on. There we are. We have several modifiers. So first of all, let's have a look at what these are. Brawler, Guardian melee damage is greatly increased. That will work in our favour. Then we have Berserk. Minions of the Darkness will not flinch even after massive damage. This is one of the worst modifiers. What this means is we can be using our best weapons on the enemy, and their life is just 1%, and they still will be as strong as if they were down to 100% life. So that causes lots of difficulties in the activities that require a fire team of 3. And sometimes that's the case here with Heroic Strikes or with the Nightfall. But, you know, sometimes we succeed. And yes, they were quite glitched. Their health was recharging, so some of the bosses were not dying as quickly as they should. And some of the yellow bar enemies were causing many more difficulties. So we'll see whether that's been resolved today. Void burn, void damage from any source is greatly increased. So any void weapons, I use Dark Drinker, will be very, very powerful. And then heroic enemies appear in greater numbers and are more aggressive. So really, it is not too bad, really, compared to some of the other modifiers. But the one that is going to be working against us very seriously is Berserk. So let's not get Berserk or go Berserk after doing those strikes. We are going to do our best in order to defeat the enemy. And this is our first Siva Heroic Strike of the day. I just received the news indicating that in France it is roasting hot. The city of Bordeaux is experiencing the weather where the temperature is 42 degrees. Today, the hottest ever recorded in that city. So honestly, we are like to be getting something like that tomorrow, albeit not as hot, but still for Britain, 36, 38 is roasting hot, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Remember Omnigul? Hive General with a lovely voice? She's back.
Vanguard scouts report she's undone her death.
Undone her death? You make it sound like she pulled her knitting apart.
Eris would tell you not to make light of this.
That's why she's not here.
There's no telling what else might follow, Guardian. Destroy Omnigul and any lingering threats.
There we are. It's going to be Joe and myself doing the Omnigul strike. And as you know, this is a tricky strike. Omnigul is very, very hard to kill. There we are.
If Omnigul can come back to life, how do we make sure she stays dead? I wonder if the Hive think that about us.
To the Hive, death is relative. We'll face Omnigul as many times as it takes.
Guess we were made for each other.
Abdul's here. Hello, Abdul. How are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming and thank you for joining our broadcast. Thank you for being a member of our community. We are doing Siva Heroic Strikes. And Abdul says he's feeling happy. That's wonderful. You know,
Be ready for anything. The Hive and
very,
Fallen
very
are more desperate than they've ever been.
happy today as well. And oops, didn't put my heavy ammunition on. I usually have lots of synths, and we are going to be using our Dark Drinker immediately. Walked into that Siva, which was burning me, and I want to destroy every one of those. Okay. None left in there. Okay. Oh, there's somebody else joining us in there. That's good. Yeah, you can see that the enemies are glitched because they're coming in very large numbers in there all at once. And they're not appearing earlier, like the entire area is completely vacant. So it looks to me like they haven't done really all that we hoped for. Yeah, the trouble is they're coming out in larger numbers than expected. I mean, I know that they have that modifier, but still.
Guardian, you
There is a
remind me of,
glitch.
well, Ikora in her Crucible days.
I do not have.
That was a lifetime ago.
I'm sure Shax hasn't forgotten. He still has trouble sitting.
In there. What happened to my super? Why wasn't my super a bit more effective? Okay, just collect some ammunition because I'm still on a cooldown. And Abdul says, sending us some love and saying you are the best. Oh, thanks very much for that. Always appreciate it. We certainly are trying our very best to provide everyone with the highest quality content here on the channel, you know, in terms of all we do. Not just myself, all of my community members, in addition to all of us participants and, you know, passing traffic. We run a channel which is a bit more serious about gaming, you know, approaching it as a form of modern art, as a form of, well, a new form of communication, a new media through which people can interact, create new bonds. Let's see, did we all? Yeah, we did. Online error. What was that? Hang on, did I get that way? Oh no. It's my error. Because there were two of those lizards. And I did hit one of them, blocking the other one. Escaped. And I managed to miss him. Good. This time. Yeah, but exploding through my chosen knight kill, not that. Well, as you can see, it's tricky. Oh no, I got killed. It's tricky because it's slightly glitched. The enemies coming at us are, you know, basically large numbers, what we expect usually.
Cosmodrome is turning into a breeding ground for Hive and Siva. Like
some of them might be even more resistant to what we usually expect in here. Ah, sniper! We're going to get rid of those witches first of all. Ah, that's exploding through! Look at that! Abdul says, you can be 1 million on Twitch. Oh, thank you very much for your very, very kind comments. Well, you know, we are doing everything we can to attract as many viewers as possible, and at the moment we are very dedicated Destiny community team. The vast majority of our participants are people who love Destiny. Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, that is. And our community is growing. And don't forget, this channel has not been around for that long. I've started it in September of last year, so it's been around for about 10 months roughly. 8 months of streaming. And, you know, so far, so good. Very enjoyable, and it's such a good community to enjoy. Honestly, I could never dream of having so many great people together here with me. And every day we team together, and we fight battles in Destiny, talk about video gaming, just amazing, you know? And that's all down to my community. Okay. Oh yeah, we didn't do that. It's very important. We need to get rid of those shriekers. Oh no, that wretched shrieker. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, there's another one in there. Needs to go. There we are, finally. I'm getting killed quite a few times in here. Well, first of all, I want to thank Abdul for his very, very kind words. Thank you so much, sir, for appreciating both my work and the participation of my community. And all we do here. We really always try to provide everyone with a high quality content.
You're all warmed up. Let's find Omnigal.
And we have a diversity in addition to you know, day-to-day activities. We bring in people from all over the world to basically join our fire team and do a bit of talking, a bit of live on air presence, you know. And then also we have quite a selection of different activities in Destiny. We do everything from PvP through strikes and story missions, and all of the content is based on our community members' requests. It's a really very interactive channel. People were probably just killed off by that heat, and we had very, very few people participating. So the actual experience of the channel will be dependent on how busy it is, and you'd appreciate you can't be always extremely busy on every single day. But overall, it does get very, very hectic. And sometimes it can be activity specific, you know, because people like watching the weekly Nightfall strikes, and people also like watching raids, but I actually don't do any raiding at the moment. We'll have lots of raids from October. Alright, so we got here Prison of Elders, Archon Forge, Court of Oryx matches. These are the most popular activities here in Destiny 1. Dark Drinker does it, my friends. Dark Drinker does it with those yellow bar enemies. Dark Drinker is a game changer, the best weapon for me in the game. I use it all the time. Which is, you know,
Omnigal is back for a reason, and it's not just a yell, though she does seem fond of that. Finish her before it's too late.
that's quite interesting because the vast majority of people don't use swords as much. You know, they use swords maybe in certain situations, but I use my sword at all times, and I find it to be very effective. Can be universally applied to any situation. So you know.
I can't believe that voice is coming out of such tiny mandibles.
Loads of enemies. As you can see, look at that. My super really worked, you know, you can see that. Pointless wizards with feathered. Well, that's awesome.
Guardian down.
Oh no. Well, this is my error. I've gone too far too fast. And therefore I pay the price, which is what doesn't happen. Okay. Coming into help, boys. What happened in that? That chosen knight destroyed me. Thank you.
Guardian down.
Smoke. There we are. It's that poison, you know, that makes it difficult to run. Okay, let's get some of that heavy here. That's it. Get out because of that poison. Gun. Here's gun. Okay, I did manage to eliminate most of them. But guess what? They eliminated me thanks to that modifier. And the modifier is called Berserk. So that's the reason.
Guardian down.
Exploding troll, go away you. Oh, this was yet again exploding troll. I'm sorry about that. I thought it was one of the minions. My fault. Right, more heavy ammunition in here for everyone. Went straight as grenade. Where are ya? hiding in there like this. Mark's here. Hello, how are you doing, Mark? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here with us today. Thank you for being a member of our community. How are you doing, Mark? And Mark's asking, are you guys doing a raid? No, we are doing a selection of Siva Heroic Strikes. And these Sivas are very heavily modified, so it, you know, they come across as very, very difficult. But Mark, I can bring you in if you want. As we complete this one, and I can bring you in, so you'll be able to join us. We can be a 5 team of 3, Joe, Mark and myself. I think we were in the same 5 team at some point last week. And Mark's saying, I'm doing good, I have some really good news. Really? Well, let's have them. Let's hear what the good news are. What's happening? Oh, this wretched troll, I didn't see him, he was amongst his minions. Did you see that? Oh, he had butted me. He had butted me, and I was skulled. No, sorry about that. Miscued, but I thought that my look, they love me, these exploding trolls. Did you see that? Another headbutting in there. I tried to revive you, but I couldn't, unfortunately. I got killed. Mark's saying, sure, I'll play, and the news is that I reached level 40, and my light is, I believe, 231. Well, that's terrific. Congratulations. Wonderful. Can you join Siva Heroic Strikes? Because we are doing them, you know, back to back at the moment. If you are level 40, because I'm not sure what light level is required to enter. Do you know? In fact, we can just do a few more strikes and then we can bring you in for the story missions. It's all good. You can do it either way. But you know what? This strike is turning out to be a lot more difficult than expected, thanks to the modifiers. Mark, this is really good news. I'm always very excited to hear that people manage to level up quick and progress rapidly forward. This game is all about light levels, collection of, you know, collection of loot, and doing, you know, lengthy grinds. And I'm very excited, you know, when I hear that our community members are basically proceeding and moving up the ladder with everything Destiny related. That's really cool. Well, I'm nearly 700 in Destiny 2 Forsaken, and I've completed all 3 DLCs, and I'm doing the seasons at the moment. So, you know, Destiny 2 Forsaken is a lot more grindy than Destiny 1. Particularly the seasons, they have very many lengthy grinds. And, you know, it's fun. Mark's saying, I'm about to load up Destiny now. Excellent. That sounds really good. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for reviving me. No, I can't jump in there because that's a poisonous gas. exploiting tools. Like saying, I was playing Blackjack on GTA 5, just 50k chips into 280k. My goodness, well that's incredible. Some game, hey? I've not played GTA 5 at all. Played the old one. Where is Omega Man? That tether did wonders in there, honestly. All of his enemies were tethered and just... There. Ogres have been resolved in full. We have no ogres attacking us anymore. In here, but we have this beast. Omega is one of the most difficult bosses here in Destiny 1,
Guardian down. Guardian down.
I'd say I'm ready whenever you are. Cool. Cool, it's really very prolonged. I'm here for a little while.
Guardian down.
We definitely want to survive in here. Dominator's just about to die. Right, I'll use my super, and if you have anything, then unleash. There we are, finally.
There are no further traces of hive energy.
Well, if she comes back, so will we. Look at us. Omnigal's neutralized and Eris didn't have to lift a finger.
You should tell her.
Trust me, she'd prefer to hear it from you. Come on back, Guardian. Good work.
I used my skeleton key, and I got nothing. Nothing popped up, so it really glitched yet again. Let us see the results. Okay. Joe, you've got a lovely mystery bag in there, so that's cool. Just quickly get out because we want to bring in Mark. There we are. and we'll bring in Mark to become a member of our fire team. So that's really cool. Just give us a minute. There we are. Okay. So we'll go Breakboy Mark, invite fire team, inviting Mark to our fire team, and then we'll also send Mark our party chat request. So bear with us. Great to see that our community members are fully on board. There we are. Sent you my party chat request. You can join us also live on air. We are a family friendly channel. We don't swear, we don't get excited, we do not display any form of judgment. We keep it absolutely family friendly at all times. Hello there, can you hear me? There we are. Oh. We need to send chat and party. Oh yeah, you're in party with us. Okay, no problem. Fine. Excellent. So let's see. We are going to go to another lot of SIVA Crisis Heroic. Yeah, but it looks like we can't because Mark is on 230 light level, and I think what we'll do is we'll need to do some activities which will increase Mark's light. So instead of carrying on with the rest here, we'll just turn Mark into our team leader, and then we'll ask Mark to basically guide us through whatever tasks there are. I need to say that anytime you access a task, then keep it on the screen for a little while, because I need to read it to our community members, and we should not be racing at all, and also never ever wipe, right? So any activities that we have there will always have to be fully completed. That's very important, because sometimes people wipe cutscenes and, you know, have like a speed run. Whilst we are on a live broadcast, there must not be any speed runs. Everything has to be seen by everyone who's watching the channel. And although I stream through Twitch, I use Restream to also get, you know, streams on other platforms. So they're up to 20, which are randomly selected every day. And people like watching, you know, all the activities regardless. So very important to keep in mind. Yeah, so I'll turn you to our team leader, promote team leader.
Okay.
And,
so I actually got this weapon called Husk of the Pit, and
yep.
I was gonna try to see if I could level it up, but the only places I really know of to like try to level it up, there's like, I saw a video saying like there's a particular story mission that you can use to get like a lot of hive type enemies to pop up. But I was also wondering about the how exactly does the Crota's Inn raid work? Because I'm not really too keen on what that is.
Okay, we'll tell you a bit more about this. Can I just ask you to maybe increase the volume on your mic, because I didn't really hear everything as clearly. If you can just try to increase, or maybe if you bring it closer. Yeah, let's try again. Let's see whether it's a bit louder.
How about now?
Much better. Yeah, loud and clear. Excellent.
Okay.
Well, basically, Husk of the Pit is a weapon which you pick up, and then you've got to be using it on certain enemies in order to kind of complete all the experiences, and then you will get later exotic weapon which is called Necrochasm. So really, in terms of the actual story missions and progression, it's not essential, you know. What I'm trying to say is that we can do other story missions, and this could be left as a task, because it's a bit like those grindy tasks. Let's say we are doing a story mission where you have lots of knights attacking. I mean, what we can do is we can go to Plaguelands, and we can go to an area where a big war breaks out between 2 or 3 different enemies. So you get loads of Taken, loads of Hives, loads of Fallen. They're all fighting against each other, and also we get waves of champions coming in. So there's several things which can be completed. It's a very interesting activity to watch. It's very fierce, and first of all, you can be using your Husk of the Pit, right? So it'll be obviously the quest will be progressing accordingly. Secondly, you can be striving towards exotics with 3 of coins. and every time when champion pops up, you can use the 3 of coins, and there's a chance for an exotic drop, right? So it's a very good area, you know, to harvest lots of exotic weapons. And also it's an area we can try out different weapons, you know, to find out what they're like. When you are reaching 4400, once you've got lots of weapons already collected, generally you find that you're using your regular kind of preferred loadout, which is what I do. But on the other hand, you also have some gamers who are quite keen on exploring how all the other weapons work. So this is an area where this could be easily applied. Do you know what I mean? You come in there, you fight a big war, and you know. And also Joe's saying here that Husk is for the exotic Necrochasm, and also Joe's saying Archon Forge might also help. I don't think we can go to Archon Forge because Mark is 230, and if I'm not mistaken, it's either 350 or 390 before you really engage with repetitive matches in there. It does require very, very high light level. The area I'm describing is in patrols, and it's easily accessible to everyone. And then if you have other people who are 4400 or 4350, you get lots of other enemies coming in, and I think it will be quite good for Mark. Well, we can try it. We can do it for maybe 20 minutes, half hour. The only trouble occurs in the area if, for instance, the Taken War doesn't break out quick enough. But as we are there for a little while, we'll get the waves of enemies. And what's good is that you have all the enemies featuring. So for any task, like for instance Husk the Pit, it is a good area. I need to say that Husk the Pit, when you're using it on the night the knights, is not really that effective. So it may be that you get killed a few times. We do it as a team, so we can be reviving it all the time, and you can still be working on the weapon. So if you're happy with that, we'll go to the Plaguelands. We'll try it. We'll see whether we like it. If not, we'll go to some other activity, right? Because we can go to other areas where you can be using it. And also, I think, when we do something live on air, in a broadcast, if they're like lengthy, grindy types of quests, like an exotic weapon quest, I don't do grinding just in one go, but I do it bit by bit. We do a bit of grinding, we do some other activity. We come back to the grind later, to provide a variety. So I think this is what we can do. We can do a bit of Husk of the Pit, and after a little while we can do a few story missions. We can go back to the Husk of the Pit, that sort of thing is the best possible plan. Yeah. So if you're happy, I've turned into the team leader. You can go to destinations, and then you can just click on Earth, and then you can go to where is it now? Patrol the Plaguelands. So that's the area where we can go. And then from there we'll go to I'll take you there.
Okay, you said it's called what now?
Yeah, if you go to Earth first, and then you'll find Patrol the Plaguelands, and then we'll go to the Plaguelands, and I'll lead you from there. Just asking, are you guys excited for Shadowkeep? Absolutely. There's been another video documentary released during the last few days, and it's giving us a few more tips on what is to happen. The video is about, the documentary is about 4.5 minutes long, and the game director and the lead producer are sort of talking about ins and outs of Shadowkeep, and we are getting a glimpse of the very beginning of Shadowkeep, where Ares goes back to the moon, and they were filming it as they were just basically watching it themselves for the first time, so really quite exciting. Let me just ask Mark, do you see the destination?
On my...
So if you go to destinations, right, and if you go to Earth, which is right at the bottom, Old Russia, Earth, yeah, you click on Old Russia, Earth, the planet, and then it says Patrol the Plaguelands. It would be above Wrath of the Machine. Do you have this section, Patrol the Plaguelands, yet or not?
I have Patrol the Cosmodrome.
Okay.
But that's the only patrol mission that I'm seeing on my...
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only patrol mission I have on the Old Earth currently.
Okay, let's try. If you go to Cosmodrome, because I think you can't see Patrol the Plaguelands, because this should be related to Rise of Iron missions. I don't think you've gone that far with your story missions.
Yeah, I don't have any of the Rise of Iron stuff unlocked. Just
yeah, Yeah, so don't worry. I mean, you've got the collection, right? You got Destiny the collection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
I
has
have
all the
collection,
content.
I just haven't unlocked it.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, what we can do is
Okay.
we can go to Cosmodrome, and then we basically fly from there to the Plaguelands, and we'll have to see whether we can access it. If not, we'll do Felwin to Speak mission, and this is the first mission on Rise of Iron, and then it will unlock, you know, this area, because this area is very good for this sort of activity. So if we go to the Cosmodrome first, and then we'll try to get there. Let's try that, because it may be that it is not going to be authorizing us access to one section of the map, but you know, we'll try. Joe says there's no direct access from Cosmodrome to the Plaguelands. Okay, I think there is. There is, and there is a shortcut. You walk through one of the buildings in there. Well, we'll try, and if it doesn't work, we'll go to some other areas. We can do some other story missions. No problem, really.
Okay.
There we are. For the benefit of our viewers, we are a 5 team of 3, Mark, Joe and myself, and we are progressing to Cosmodrome. We'll do some patrolling in there, and we'll be working on Mark's Husk of the Pit for a little while. And there we are. So you can equip your Husk of the Pit, you know, and you can be using it.
I'm receiving reports of fallen snipers in proximity to the patrol beacons. Stay alert, Guardian.
Let's try going up here. Mind you, this is not a bad area either, because in here we can also get some taken champions. Collect some of these materials if we need some spin metal. In fact, I'll pick up one patrol beacon in here just to keep it a bit animated.
Any Guardians on the scene? We got a target causing problems in this area. Stand by for details.
So patrol, that's basically eliminating some of the enemies. Looks like there's another. Oh no, we picked this up already. Okay. There's another spin metal leave if you need some materials. Yeah. Guys are collecting semi-hidden, in fact, just behind.
Ghost.
Oh, look at that. What is that? Okay. And there we are.
Great job. I'll send Kate an update.
So that's complete. You can go outside. Nice and easy. Loads of enemies in there. Tonzak is... Oh, hello Tonzak, how are you doing? Good to see you. How are you, sir? Long time no see. Long time no see. You been busy? There's another lot of materials in there, speed metal leaves. Tonzak says, yes, I've been pretty busy. Yeah, I thought so. We are doing a selection of activities in order to help Mark to level up. So at the moment we're doing some patrols and then we'll do some story missions, and you know, to keep it as a nice variety. And Donzak says, I haven't been playing games for a week now, except perhaps a bit of Minecraft on the bus. Well, that sounds good. Okay. Where doesn't see anyone in there. Donzak says, nothing really serious. Donzak can probably guide us through this. We were trying to find a way to get to the playgrounds from here. You know where we need to go? Because I remember I had to go through some walls, but I don't remember exactly. And in any case, we need to try whether it will work, because our friend Mark doesn't have access to the playgrounds as yet. Because we need to do some Rise of Iron missions before getting access. We're just trying to really work out whether it's possible or not. Yeah, I thought so. Donzak says that we will not be able to find the playgrounds through this area because we need to unlock Rise of Iron. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. But we'll do a bit of patrolling and a bit of fighting in here as well, because we can get to some champions. as the Taken are popping up and respawning. So there's a chance to get an exotic. So everyone can use the 3 of coins in here. And I'll put mine on. $51 3 of coins, I'm rich. Oh, he's there already.
Where can I get 3 of coins from?
You have to buy them off there, or you get them as rewards. And there pops up on Fridays and Saturdays. Barack's here. Hello, Barack. How are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here with us today. Got you. The trick with him is that we always must be jumping, because once he stamps the ground, then we all die. He does like an earthquake type of thing.
Guardian down.
He has less than 1% life. Has he gone? Yeah. Just really keep an eye out for exotics. Any exotics anywhere? Let's see.
Somebody found a legendary Ingram.
Yeah, it's good. It's good as well. Tonzak was just telling everyone that 3 of coins are available from there, but if you can get as much strange coins as you can get 3 of coins with them. And Joy's got an exotic, so obviously there was one exotic drop somewhere. I didn't see any of those, but I'm very glad you picked it up. That's the idea really behind doing those champions. Basically in this area is quite good also for farming exotics. You'll get 3 waves of Taken, and then on the 3rd wave you need to kill 3 captains as quickly as possible, and then one of those champions will pop up, and that's what happened here. The reason we were able to do this is that there was another team doing patrolling, so they probably eliminated some of the captains together with us, and therefore the champion popped up. So that was pretty good, because I wasn't paying attention to the captains, you know. And Tonzak says this is awesome. Yeah, this is a great activity for getting exotics. And just coming back to Mark on 3 of coins. 3 of coins are purchased from there, or they're giving us reward from certain activities, and you just collect lots of strange coins, which again are rewards, and then you can use them with Zer. Zer is the best kind of person to do business with, because he's offering everything on very low cost, and then you get the best value for money. Where's the event? Let's see, it should be done here. Yeah, let's join. Let's join. Let's find out where it is.
Hang on, we might have a problem.
Should be around here, right? Where the ship's coming. Do you see the sign? Where it is? I can't actually see it online. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So we'll basically need to be just destroying the enemies, and then
Let's do this. I got your back.
Oh, okay. Just a walker. Okay. close. And Tom's like saying, don't go anywhere near that walker, just duck and dive, make sure you're not anywhere close. Yeah, that's right.
Guardian down.
Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. We're just gonna revive you as well.
We can do this, I hope.
What's going on in there?
Got it.
Walker killed me again. There we are, we destroyed the walker. That's good.
Well done.
Oh wow.
There we are. Loads of goodies.
I just got a chest piece.
I can't actually hear you very well, I'm afraid.
I said I just got a legendary chest piece.
Excellent, fantastic. I'm probably gonna level you up as well with your light levels. Alright, so that's good.
Yeah, it was a chest piece. And I got a new bond.
Okay. You can equip them immediately, you know, have a look and you'll see whether
Well,
you're
the-
going
the-
up light-wise.
The chest piece is an Ingram, so I have to wait until for that. Same with the bond.
Okay. Put a bit more here and then we can go back to the tower.
Okay.
Basically we'll get another lot of Taken popping up here, you know, so we'll have the same sort of activity and then there'll be a chance for another lot of exotics and legendaries. So let's see. With all these waves of Taken, they always pop up in a certain area, you know. So it's always the same area when you have to be destroying one of the champions. And doing patrols can be really good fun for target practice, you know. And maybe
Guardians,
sometimes some
attack
tactics
where
and
the enemy is
strategies.
unprepared. Appear where you are not expected. Stand by for dispatch.
Gonzak tells us that if we keep doing patrols, they'll be giving you some experience points, and then also one can be leveling up faster. Gonzak's asking, who's the player in your fight team leveling
Now
up?
what?
Mark. Mark is leveling up. And Joe's leveling up as well. So both of our friends here are working on the game. Alright, so we completed this one. We can just go outside yet again and look for some other activities. Donzak is saying hello to Mark and to Joe. There we are. Taken are ahead. So now it's the same thing, remember? We need to eliminate those 3 captains as soon as possible in order to get the champion. Just look for the Taken, you know. I don't see them anywhere here.
There's some spawning in it now. Oh, okay.
There we are, yeah. Look for those captains, you know, the yellow balloons.
Guardian down.
Because we have to eliminate all 3 of them as quickly as possible, you know, to get to the champion. Okay. Didn't see, I eliminated 1 captain, didn't see the other 2. Don't know whether you've seen them anywhere. Oh, the champion's there already, is he? Back.
Oh, there he is.
Alright, cool. That's important that we managed to get him. Let's see. Oh no. Can't stop his gun, really. Unfortunately.
Guardian down.
Just everyone needs to remember their 3 coins in here. He's gone.
Okay.
You can see there are any exotics in there. Any exotics? Anything?
No.
1 engram I picked up in there. It didn't look like exotic engram. Alright. Guess you can pick up another beacon. We can do a few more patrols here. And then we'll go back to the tower.
Okay.
Any Guardians available? We have an important strike coming through. We need the area thinned. Stand by for coded dispatch.
Okay, we're good.
Oh, my bad. I was going towards the arrow.
Guardians, in your battles, please be on the lookout for a few things for me. Specifics for your ghosts.
Nice work.
Alright, we can go back to orbit, and we can do some admin in there once we get back to the tower, and then we'll look at our story missions, all that is there to be done.
Guardian down.
Okay.
Probably collected quite a few engrams after some activities there. There's one public event and then a few champions. It's pretty good.
So you said we're heading back to the tower first?
Yes, please, yeah.
Okay.
You'll be able to decode and then just upgrade your weapons and your armor. Excuse me.
Those left, even in our vaults.
Picked up lots of engrams, but unfortunately none of them are of any use. Oh no, Joe says I've got another exotic, basically a dupe of the one already in my inventory. Which one did you get? Quite curious. That's always disappointing, but you know what, if you've got a duplicate, stash it in the vault and keep it for your other characters. Dragon's Breath, yeah. Just keep it in the vault, because you can use you can have up to 3 exotics, you know, 1 per character, and then anything which is extra can always be dismantled. I keep picking up Imago Loop very frequently, the strikes, and I have to dismantle them because I already have 3 Imago Loops. Imago Loop are very, very good, very effective hand cannon, as everyone knows. One of the most popular weapons. Yet again, I picked up Husk of the Pit. And I can't remember whether I've had another husk in my inventory or not, in my vault. So this is what I'll
Come back before I
investigate straight away. It's fun enough, Mark asked us about Husk of the Pit quest, and I've not completed that quest on any of my characters. So it's just one quest which still hasn't been completed on all 3 of my characters, which is Husk of the Pit, and I guess Mark and myself, and also Joy, could do it together if you wanted, but maybe not straight away, because we've done a bit of grinding in patrols. We'll do some story missions now. Maybe we'll get back to it later on. We'll see. But I want to see whether I've got. Joe says that Husk will require raid completion. Yeah, that's right. But we can kind of work towards that level. You know, we can have Husk. Looks like on this character I do not have that husk in the vault, so don't know what's going on, but might have deleted it by mistake. No, that's not what I want to do. We need to stick it in the vault, which means our husk needs to be stashed And thread we can put in there. Grasp of Malak. 7th of Axa. Fusion rifle. Alright. Okay.
We are... Name?
Yeah, let me just equip these new bounties.
Yeah, you can always collect as many as they're useful. They'll give you rewards, and they're sort of activity specific. Vanguard bounties are applicable to all missions. Silverwake strike bounties are just for, you know, those strikes, and then the Crucible ones are obviously for PvP. And one of the best ways of doing it is every single day before you commence with certain activities, you go to Bounty Tracker, you collect as many bounties as possible, and then at the end of your activity you can just double check and basically cash them all. That's what I do every day. It takes me a while to remember, but if you make it like your regular drill, before you depart on any mission, right at the beginning, you just collect as many bounties as possible, in the same way as you'll be collecting or double checking your quests, and you decide on what quests you'll be doing. So, you know, even more so in Destiny 2 Forsaken, because in there you have many more bounties offered through many different characters. The best way of doing it is just collecting them all, and then you have kind of daily, seasonal, weekly bounties, and then they'll expire if you're not completed them during the day. You can always pick them up again, and it makes it really easy in order to collect rewards, similar to what we have here in Destiny 1. Some bounties are hard to complete, the vast majority are not, and they'll give you, you know, rewards as you complete every one of them. So it's always useful to remember. I kept forgetting that for a long while. Oh, what I wanted to do was, let me see, Mercy of Motion. I actually quite like this one.
Have an efficient day.
I'm gonna put some of those in the vault. Free up a bit of space there. This one put in the vault. And maybe... see. Logical conclusion. Okay. Pick up a new emblem.
Searching.
Which is going to be Crimson Crest. Can equip it as well. Let's see, Crimson Quest. There we are. And then we'll have...
Done.
Grasp of Malak for the second time I picked up. And I picked up another Husk of the Pit, which I do not need. There's 10 helmets as well. Cloak of the Cosmonaut. That's pretty good.
All done.
This one we don't need. Second one. And something else we picked up. What was it? A legend. So we have, what is it? Long Tomorrow Gauntlet, which is 390, and we do not need any of that. What we do need is maybe some of those telling us that the defense level is 400. Defense points. Oh no. We are suffering outages on PlayStation Network, and therefore our stream is now losing its video feed. So what I need to tell everyone is just to remain patient. because I will have to be restarting my stream. So for all of our viewers, everyone who's watching, please stay here with us on my channel. I'll have to discontinue the stream and I'll have to restart it more or less immediately, and our teammates are not going to be affected, obviously, as we are staying in the game. But I'll need to do this because we are suffering outages on PlayStation Network in the UK. So please, everyone watching on Twitch and all other platforms, stay with us. I need to restart the stream because there is a technical problem on PSN, and once I restart it, hopefully straight away, we are going to be able to resume. So Joe's asking, I wonder if they will ever bring back SLR to Destiny 2. I'm not sure. I think what we have at the moment is a drive coming from Bungie to kind of merge various activities between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, and I think everything that's to unravel with Shadowkeep, the next chapter of Destiny, is going to be the first step in the line of many. And if we are to be reading in between the lines from what the guys had said in the latest video documentary, what they want is for the areas that we already know full well from Destiny 1 to be reworked. So for instance, although we're going back to the moon, presently in Destiny 1 we don't have any lost sectors, and the lost sectors are going to be accessible in Shadowkeep. So we are to discover the entirely different world on the moon, which was previously unnoticed. Then there will be having some extra additional activities, content and additions basically to those maps. So a lot to look forward to, and I think there's a possibility and the likelihood that in due course everything will merge. We'll have Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 kind of joining forces and merging together. Whether they're all going to be accessible through one forum is not clear, because they said there are some technical limitations at present in order for that to be done. But as you could see, as the tech is developing, we are likely to be getting many more enhancements in no time, and therefore that looks very, very likely. So yet again, I want to ask all of our viewers, please stay with us here on the channel. I'm going to be restarting the stream because there is a problem with PlayStation Network. I just got messages indicating that there are outages and therefore there's no video signal. So bear with me and I will restart the broadcast straight away. Stay with us and we'll be back literally in 1 minute.